It's Altrider here and welcome to another week in toys. Today's Thursday the 1st of December and the Christmas countdown is upon us. Advent has started. I've had my chocolate this morning. No toy calendar for me this year, but never mind. There's still plenty of toys coming in December. And speaking of toys coming, I still have not had my parcel from Comics and Cocktails. Royal Mail, according to their tracking, still haven't picked it up. This was posted on the 23rd. It is now the 1st, so it's over. I think this is day 8 now, and I know there have been strikes, but this should have been shipped within 48 hours. And yeah, it's bad enough at Christmas with the volume of stuff going through. When there aren't people delivering stuff for 2 days a week, that's only going to make it worse. And I just feel for some of the kids who might not get their Christmas presents after suffering enough over the last few years. But there we are. So I did go into work yesterday. I went into Telford, did a little bit of Christmas shopping, picked up Rudy Zazoo's Christmas present while I was there. And on the way back I flew into Smith's. And I just wanted to have a look to see if they had Skullgrin. I really want to pick up Skullgrin, and he's not one of the figures I had on pre-order from Comics and Cocktails, and they didn't have him. But they did have this guy who was probably the figure I was going to wanted to pick up least in the wave, but he was there, and I picked him up, and I'm happy I did because he's awesome. This is Inferno, Beast Wars Inferno. Or Predacon Inferno, and this thing is pretty good. I'm going to go out there and say I think this is the best Beast Wars Universe figure to date. There was a couple of good ones in Kingdom, but I just think this is pretty stunning. It's a big chunk of a boy. It's a big Voyager. I mean, I'll compare him next to Point Blank here. You can see he's a big figure. The legs could do with a little bit better articulation, but Inferno here is, of course, a fire ant. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. Transformation on it is really quite clever. You shouldn't really pop off the bits like I did there, but never mind, let's put those off. I actually mistransformed it the first time I did it, and I didn't realise. It looked fine the way I did it, to be honest, but I mistransformed the legs. But it's a pretty relative simple transformation. So let me just move these bits around, move these down. Pull the arms out. We'll get there in a minute, we'll get there. This is the problem with these static legs as such. You've just got to move them all out of the way. They do get in the way during transformation and posing a little bit. But all in all, it's fine, it's alright. Let's turn all these bits round, we're almost there. Split his head open. Tuck his mandibles in. Put it back together. And are we done? I think we're done. And this is Inferno in his robot mode, and it looks awesome, doesn't it? Very much that Beast Wars aesthetic. I think there might be a bit of shared engineering with the chest between him and Waspinator, maybe. I'm not sure. It splits open the same anyway. You have got his blaster, which you can hold in his hands, like so. But what I'm told, and I haven't seen this in the show, is you've kind of got that look going on. That's how he looks in the show, and he kind of flies that way. You have actually got an articulated mouth as well, which is pretty cool. He's a pretty awesome figure. Like, for the price of these Voyagers isn't the best, to be completely honest. I mean, they have got very expensive, and if you buy one... I bought one in Smith's now, they're over 30 quid unless you wait for them to be reduced. And I think some of these figures will be reduced. I did see Starscream there yesterday, and he looks absolutely awesome. He looks a big fella and all. But yeah, I picked up Inferno, he was there, and yeah, I wanted to pick up something. It was payday week, and I thought, why not? And overall, I'm really happy I did now. Really happy I did, because he is a pretty awesome figure. Today is Sunday the 11th of December, and I can't believe we're only a couple of weeks away from Christmas. I've had some awesome toys this week, and I'm going to talk you through them now. I have opened these up. I haven't had time to film them and open them up on those type of things, and because I've been waiting for a parcel for a long while, I wanted to make sure everything was okay in there. And of course I've had a little bit of Hasbro QC issues as well. Buying Transformers, wouldn't be buying Transformers without Hasbro screwing up their production. But let's not talk about a screw up, let's talk about an amazingly handsome and wonderful man, Mr. Luffy, who went on a little trip to TK Maxx. I think it was a couple of weeks ago now. He was looking for the Authentics RC that's in there, and he managed to find them. I asked him to keep an eye out for this set if he did find them, and he did. So this cost me 20 quid for some postage, and I'm really, really happy he got it for me. It is the Metropolis set, I hope I'm saying that right. This is normally about 80 quid, and it was 20 quid in TK Maxx. So we've got Ironworks here, who is a rework of Ironworks, of course. He is a white version of the character that was created for Earthrise, I think it was. And he is in a nice, I suppose, almost NASA-like colours, because this is all the space theme. We've also got Overair, who is a repaint of Airwave. Again, from Earthrise, wasn't it? These were both Micromaster bases that were reimagined as these modulators, and this is a nice little repaint of him, to be fair. This is the third version of this mould I've got, because I've also got the Hothouse and of course the Airwave. He's alright, he's okay. I think this is going to be more of a set that I'll keep and try and display in some kind of fan mode space shuttle kind of bay, and link it up with the Galaxy shuttle set I've got. But yeah, he's alright. We get a missile, which originally came with double dealer, that can go into a gun, which is pretty cool. Then we've got some Micromasters, and I'm going to have to read these names out. So we've got Fusor and Blastmaster. This is a repaint of the Micromaster set that were a shuttle, and it's just done in a slight beigey white with red, as opposed to the standard normal shuttle colours. And then we've got Missile Master and Moonrock here, which was a repaint of the double Decepticon version. And these were actually good figures. These two are really, really good Micromaster sets, and I really like the fact that you can attach the shuttle to the rocket. If I can get some other like missiles at the side, it would really look like a shuttle bay, and you can actually transform these into some fan modes and get like a little base mode on the go. And with Galaxy Shuttle, I think together they would look a pretty awesome little display, especially as this really does remind me of Countdown's missile rocket. So yeah, I think that'll be an awesome little mess about I can have to get something that looks kind of like Countdown. I'm going to have a look to see if I can pull something like that together. But cheers, Luffy. That is an awesome little set. Really, really happy that you managed to pick it up for me. And I did look in other TK Maxes since Luffy picked this up, and I haven't seen one. So without Luffy, I wouldn't have got one. So cheers, mate. I really owe you one. So next up was my long-running saga from Comics and Cocktails. I had a box of goodies posted on the 23rd of November, and I didn't hear anything from the tracking, not even that it had been picked up and scanned by Royal Mail, until the 3rd of December. Eventually, I think it was this Thursday just gone, so what was that, the 8th I think it was, the parcel finally arrived. All of them in there, apart from one, I could probably pick up elsewhere if the parcel was lost, but as I say, I think it was about 15 days in total, and this thing went missing for a week. Comics and Cocktails said they'd received it, they'd sent it, but Royal Mail hadn't scanned it. And eventually it was picked up. So the thing that I was worried about not getting one of was this. It was the Transformers the movie Hot Rod. And me and Dave have been talking about this. And Dave's said to me in the past, well, it doesn't matter when you get a toy because you'll enjoy it. But when it comes to a toy like this, and seeing photos of it all over social media and you're not having it, it kind of ruined the joy for me and Dave a little bit, because we didn't know when we were going to have one, and we'd seen it that many times. At least that's what I thought, until he come and I opened it. Now, there was some initial disappointment, because he had a chip on his nose, which was really, really annoying. I'll put a photo up of it here. Yeah, and I think it had come from them stupid rope toys that they put on. What I can't work out, I get Hasbro with their... Well, they've got it on the box, look. Plastic-free packaging, right? Fine with that, support it. All of Legacy Wave 3, I've had the little plastic toys in. Why couldn't they just put some plastic toys in this one? That's what I can't work out. But anyway, here's Hot Rod. He is awesome. He's beautiful. He is everything that I hoped he would be. You can't see the scratch on his nose now, because luckily I've got a tiny bit of talent and I managed to touch up the paint, and he looks all right now. You can't really see. You can see a little dot on there if you really look, but It's not bad at all. But yeah, this thing is lovely. This is exactly how Hot Rod always should have looked. This is how I always wanted Hot Rod to look in my head. And this is glorious that we've got this nearly 40 years on. Well, that's not 40 years on, is it? 35 years-ish on, 36 years on since the movie. And we've finally got him in his his screen accurate colours, haven't we? He's great. Should he be 40 quid? No, he shouldn't. Should they have painted his feet? Absolutely. They should have painted him the same colour as the legs or black, rather than having him this metal, which is a little bit odd. But other than that, this is awesome. Give me a cup, give me a blur, done in proper animation colours, and I'll be a very, very happy man. I think this is awesome. And I've got the Galvatron that was a Takara reissue in the more accurate colours, and this will go quite nicely next to that. I think this is going to be up there in the top 10, probably even the top 5 of the year, simply because it's an old figure given a new lease of life and it feels absolutely wonderful. And this is the first time I've actually got his guns. I don't own any of Hot Rod's. Well, tell a lie, I've got a sealed version of a reissue, but I've never actually seen and held these guns before, so that's pretty cool. No chrome on this, no stickers, just show accurate beauty. What a great little figure. Then we're getting on to wave 3. There was 4 items in this comics and cocktail box. So we start off with Armada Starscream. He's alright. He's a nice little poseable figure. He's got some great articulation. The legs are a little bit looser than I hoped they would be. They're not annoyingly loose, but they are still a little bit, not quite as tight as I would like them. Let's put it like that. He's awesome. He's a great figure. I like the transformation. I like the alt mode. I kind of like where his neck joint is, because you can get some like looking up flying poses and all that kind of stuff. I think my main issue with this is it's a little bit looser than I would like it to be in certain places, but not enough just to annoy me as such, if that makes sense. I probably can tighten up a few things. And of course, we have issues with mushroom pegs, because there's certain parts that decide to pop off the mushroom pegs. I can't remember which part it was. I think it was the leg. Love to pop off on this. But all in all, he's a nice little figure and I like him. I think that this is too small, the Star Saber. I think it should have been a lot bigger. Hopefully a third-party kit will do that. Or maybe they'll even do another Star Saber, who knows. Maybe they'll bring Minicons out eventually. Who knows. But yeah, he's a nice figure. I'm happy to have him. And yeah, this is an awesome Starscream design, isn't it? Next up, we have Dead End here. I've got him in his car mode. He has already been in arm mode. My analysis of this is that the bit at the back is crap and doesn't tab together. On my copy, the bonnet falls off constantly during transformation, which is really annoying. I find that more annoying than the gap at the back. I think his legs do look a little bit plain, but they're not as bad as people make out of them, in my opinion. And if you don't like the legs, that's perfectly fine. But all in all, he's an arm, and he's going to be an arm, and I think he looks good on Mountain Master. So I can't really grumble, really. He's a decent figure. I think the car mode is awesome. I think the robot mode looks fine. It does the job. It's just a shame there's these annoying things where these won't tab together properly, which is really, really annoying. I'll stick him on the arm of Menasor here, who I've got combined up. So I think we just... What do we do here? We drop him on the floor. That's the first thing we do. So I think we connect this part here, like so, and that should eject the body, which it does. And then we can connect this part to this part, like so, and I'll turn these guns round. I don't know whether I'm going to display this with the guns on, but yeah. Oh, and I had Shockwave on his back, but there we go, that's him as an arm. He looks good. He looks good. He looks exactly how Menasor should look, in my opinion. And again, me and Dave were talking about this. He's thinking about selling his Menasor on already, because he doesn't like the overall thing, even though he hasn't got Breakdown yet. To me, I think this is the... I mean, I'm not a massive Menasor fan anyway. I was more of a Superion kind of kid, and Bruticus. They were more my favourites. But this will do me as my perfect Menasor. And in my opinion, I think yes, there's been a few issues with it. And there was a little bit of, I suppose, false promise with how good Dragsprit was, and then Mountain Master. I would have liked to see them announce all the figures in advance, but all in all, I think this is probably up there with probably one of the best combiners we've got from the main line. I am going to probably look at some third-party upgrades. I've seen some thigh pieces to make him a little bit taller. But yeah, what I would really like to see though is they do a combiner, maybe Superion in HasLab. I think that way we get the extra little budget, and then some of the issues we had on this figure we might not have. But saying that, I've seen some of the issues with Star Saber, and they ain't that don't look a premium product for some people, unfortunately. But there you go. So yeah, we got Dad in there, only waiting Breakdown now, and yeah, almost got the full set. Crankcase, I only opened him up this morning. He was one that I should be excited about, but I really wasn't excited about when I saw him in the box. I've opened him up and actually he's quite fun. His proportions are a bit beefy for what I would see Crankcase as, but all in all, he's a decent little figure. I like that they've made a little bit of effort to have his guns there. Surely there'll be a third-party add-on kit to make those look a little bit bigger. I think it's clever what they've done with the gun from the grill, and you can wear that on the front, and maybe that'll be another figure. Getting a little bit of Swindle vibes when I do that, even though that's not how Swindle looks. But I do get a bit of a Swindle vibe from this figure. Maybe they'll do a repaint. Who knows? But yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, not one I was really excited about when he arrived. That's why I left him to last. But good details. Looks like the has taken definite homages from the original. And yeah, it's cool. Probably the best Crankcase we've got. It's a shame he doesn't have that flipping gun gimmick, but never mind. So that's it. Legacy Wave 3 is completed. I'm not planning to pick up the Dragon Megatron. Unless I see it really cheap. If I see it for 25, 30 quid, I will pick it up because I'm hearing good things about it. Just to have a muck about with it really. But if it's still like 55 quid, I will not be bothering because I'm not that bothered about Beast Wars stuff. I did pop in B&M to get a few little Christmas presents the other day, and I found some of these Stranger Things blind bags. Now, I think that some of these can come in like these TV boxes, display boxes, and these were just like blind bag packets. Well, £5 each, they weren't cheap. But you've got 11 different characters. So you can see some of them there, and you can see some more of them there. And I picked up 2 of them, and I had a good feel to try and work out which one I want, what I wanted, and I managed to fill the Demogorgon because I did want the Demogorgon because I haven't got a Demogorgon to go in my other Stranger Things figures. So I thought, I'll pick up that, and it comes with like this little egg thing from the Upside Down, which is pretty cool. These aren't articulated at all, they're a bit rubbery, but I thought they were cool. And then I had a bit of a feel, and this was the first one I picked up, and I've got this thing with blind bags that I thought, I always think I should buy the first one I pick up, just in case I put it back and it was one that I wanted. So I kind of held the first one in my hand, and I had a feel about it, and I thought I could feel long hair, so I thought, well, it's not going to be certain characters. I kind of hoped it was Eddie, and when I got back it was Eddie, so I was really happy with that. Each of these come with a little accessory. This one is his guitar, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I got an Eddie, which is pretty cool. So I've just got to editing, and I've realised that I haven't filmed bits for 2 Transformers I've picked up over the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to jump back in, and I'm going to show you another 2 figures that I picked up. The first one I picked up from, I think it was Forbidden Planet, I think it was anyway. I picked up Skullgrin here, or Shitgrin as I like to call him, because number one, he can't really grin because he hasn't got a bottom jaw, and this figure is probably one of the worst figures I've bought in a while. He feels cheap. I don't like the head at all. I think that this would have been better having the robot head underneath. I think Paul from Transformers the Show actually said that. Is that it would look better to have have a robot mode head underneath, which you pull off, which I think would work, and maybe have this as a shield. I think what they've done here, they've tried to do too much. So they tried to make the robot mode look like the outer shell, which is fine, I get it, but they've tried to make the inner robot, the alt mode look like the inner robot alt mode, which was just nothing, and this is over-engineered and over-complicated for what it is. I just don't like it as a figure. I mean, it looks okay just to look at standing there. They've made a real stupid decision here. Why would you ever paint a peg? Because the paint's just going to scratch off. So what's the point? I just don't get it. And as I say, the alt mode is complicated transformation to transform into nothing. I think this is, as I say, one of the worst figures this year. I think it is the worst figure in Legacy. And I think the Hasbro guys actually did a better job with Bombburst here. I think if they'd done Skullgrim at this size, I think it would have worked. Also, what they're doing with the scale of these, it's just so odd. So odd. I don't know. I can't quite work out this figure at all. So yeah, I bought it because I was there in person and I thought, you know what, I'll treat myself to it. And yeah, I just don't like it. He's not good. A figure that is good though is Cyberverse Hot Rod. And this is a lovely little figure. I bought this on a whim from, where was it? Toy Dip, I think it was. I saw them advertising it on eBay. It was 20 quid, including postage, I think it was. But I went direct to their website and then you got to pay for postage. But got a deal anyway. I think it was about 19 quid. And Dave was telling me that this figure is a pretty good figure, Hot Rod. It's just lacking paint. And that's all it is. It's just lacking paint. If it had the spoilers here in yellow, I think it would be an absolutely amazing little Hot Rod figure. It's a good one. It's a really, really good figure. I like the blast effects. I like the transformation. I like the actual car mode. It's a good Hot Rod figure, and this was my first Cyberverse Deluxe, are they? They're not Warrior, are they? Deluxe. First one I picked up, and I'm happy I did. He's a lovely, lovely little figure. If you get a chance, check one out. And that's all I pick up, so it's been a pretty full-on week or so when it comes to Transformer toys. I think that's probably going to be it for Legacy this year. We've got Evolution coming, and interestingly, on Hasbro Pulse, they are due to ship on the 16th of December, which is for Hotshot Breakdown, Scrap Hook, is it? And the Double Target Master. I forgot his name, Needle Nose, there we go. So those four, I haven't got my Breakdown pre-ordered with Pulse, but I've got the other three pre-ordered, so kind of hoping they will ship on the 16th and they get here for Christmas. What is a bit more touch and go is my Shattered Glass Soundwave. That has moved to the 19th of December for shipping, so it's touch and go whether that will actually get here for Christmas now, but fingers crossed it will, and I'll be able to get at least some of these for Christmas. It would be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to risk ordering anything else because of the whole Royal Mail saga. Yeah, I think you'll agree that there's a lot of people out there who aren't getting what they deserve, but the fact that the country seems to be falling apart is not a good thing, and it's a shame it's happening at Christmas. But hey-ho, I suppose we've got to deal with it, and luckily now I think all of the stuff that is for Christmas has arrived, and anything else won't become a Royal Mail now, so I should be alright. Should be alright. Best you're going to order off Amazon now, or it's going to be Yodel stuff from Pulse, so there we go. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Excuse my red nose because I've got a little bit of a cold, and hopefully I'll speak to you before Christmas. Until next time, I've been Zort Rider, and I'll catch you again really soon.